In this lesson I'm going to teach essential file management tools. So to start with, there's the ls command. We have already seen the ls command. It's for list files. It lists files and directories in the current directory. Related to that, there's mkdir. mkdir allows you to create a directory. Let me show you how to use these commands. So here we have ls. ls is listing the files. And ls-l is also listing the files, but also with all of the properties. Now, to organize your files, it makes sense to create directories. As you can see in this directory, I have many scripts. So let me use mkdir scripts so that we can later put these files in a separate directory. Notice that if you use mkdir with a structure like this, new / scripts, then you are trying to create an entire directory path. That doesn't work. If you want to create an entire path, then you should use mkdir-p. That will create the entire subdirectory path for you. Next couple of commands I want to talk about is cp. cp is for copy, mv is for move. Let me show you. So cp is the copy command. You can use cp --help to see, that it is producing a lot of output. So let's do that again and let's pipe it to less. Here we can see the basic usage of the cp command. So we have cp optionally followed by some options, and after the options you specify source as well as destination. So I can use something like cp etc hosts, for example, to dot. Dot is a current directory. So it copies the file etc hosts into the current directory, which is my home directory. You can use cp based on patterns as well. So if you use cp etc h star, for example, to dot, then you would copy everything from etc that has a file name starting with an H to the current directory. You can see two error messages here. cp -r not specified, omitting directory etc highlight. Now, why do we see this message? We see this message because the cp command has found two items that have a name starting with an H, which are not files. And if you want to copy directories including their contents, you need the -r option. So I can do that again, cp -r etc h star to dot. And that will copy directory, including the contents of the directory as well. This -r option stands for recursive. It's an option that we are going to see in several commands. Let's verify, and we can see that a few files with names starting with an H are now existing in this directory. Then there is mv. mv is for move. So this is very convenient if you have files in the current directory and you want to put them somewhere else. Like this example. I just created all my scripts and I want to move all these scripts to the subdirectory scripts. So I'm using mv script star to scripts. Notice the slash behind the name of the directory scripts. By putting a slash behind it, I'm making sure that this command is only going to work if we have a directory with the name scripts. And you can see that this is doing quite okay. The error message cannot move scripts to a subdirectory of itself, scripts, totally makes sense. Because we are looking for anything starting with the name script. And anything starting with the name script includes the directory scripts as well. And you cannot move scripts into scripts. That's just not going to work. ls is showing that all the scripts files are now gone. And if you use ls scripts with a slash behind it, you can see that the scripts files are now copied into the new scripts directory. Next there is rmdir. You can probably guess what this command is doing. If mkdir is for make directory, then rmdir can only be a remove directory, right? And rm is a generic remove command. In practice you will find that rmdir has limited use because you can only remove empty directories with it. The rm command can remove anything. Let me show you. So let's start with rmdir on scripts. And as you can see, that is failing directory not empty. As I was mentioning, rmdir can remove empty directories only. So you would first need to remove all files from that directory. And that's not very useful. Fortunately, there is rm. rm is for remove. And you can use several options with rm. Most useful options are -rf. -r is recursive, as we have just seen. So that would remove including everything in the directory. And f is for force, which means that if Linux is generating warnings like, are you sure, it's going to force it and it will remove it anyway. And as you can see, it's not asking anything and the directory scripts has now been removed. Obviously, you can also use rm to remove individual files, like rm hosts.deny, for example, and it's gone. Now, using rm can be dangerous. Let me open a root shell. And as root, let me type rm -rf/. You have any idea what that is going to do? Of course you have, because you know that / is the root directory. And that contains your entire file system structure. But fortunately, if as root you are going to use rm -rf/, then you need to pass the option -- no preserve root. I hope you understand why I'm not going to show you how that works. That's all you need to know about basic file management commands.